What it is, what it ain't, what it shall be. Welcome back to another episode of For the Blerd Shirt. We are going over the newest episode of WandaVision, all new Halloween Spooktacular. I have my usual suspects, RJ and Jay. How y'all doing?
Rub it up.
Doing good, man. No complaints.
Hey, glad to hear it. And we have some very special guests, returning guests to the show. We have Blerd Up Reacts, Monique and Killer Cam. How are y'all today?
Doing good.
Hey, glad to hear it. So first off, where can we all follow Blerd Up Reacts at? What platforms are y'all on? Where can we get y'all?
YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, all cohesive now at Blerd Up Reacts. So that's a win. Getting our name back. And also via the website www.blerdup.com. We got some things coming up. It's starting to fill that website out. So stay tuned.
Nice. Yeah, definitely give them a follow, guys. I want to thank you guys for being on the show. And without further ado, let's get into this episode. So it kind of first starts off with a cool little intro for those of y'all who have watched Malcolm in the Middle, very Malcolm in the Middle-esque. What are y'all feelings on the Malcolm in the Middle intro? Jay, I'm gonna throw it at you first.
I mean, I knew it was Malcolm in the Middle when I first saw the intro. Cam and I were talking about it backstage. He grew up watching it. You just know the feeling, the kind of the theme song to go along with it. So I thought it was cool how they go from each different generation or each decade and show the difference of what's going to happen in the show.
Agreed. I definitely think it is cool that they are getting kind of these pillar shows in these generations to just kind of showcase each different episode. Cam, what are you thinking about it, man?
Kind of same deal. I've really been impressed with the way they've kind of taken the shows, the most popular shows from those decades, and just kind of weaved them into these episodes, everything down to the way the episode is filmed. So when I saw Malcolm in the Middle, I'm like, oh, we're going to get a lot of fourth wall breaking, some shenanigans. And that show was amazing, Malcolm in the Middle. So I was here for it.
Agreed. Definitely a hilarious show when I used to watch it. Monique, how you feeling about it?
I mean, I'm just going off of what y'all say. I didn't ever watch Malcolm in the Middle. That wasn't never my show, but I love how they still brought it up to I think it's like late 90s, early 2000s type of show in this episode, where they showed that new style of, like Cam was saying, fourth wall breaking and then shenanigans all throughout the episode. So I absolutely positively loved it. Like every episode, I feel like they're just stepping up their game, and I'm just sitting back and enjoying it.
It really makes me wonder what the next episode is going to kind of be, because I feel like we're getting kind of close to present day's sitcoms. But what are you thinking about?
Like I said, I didn't really watch Malcolm in the Middle growing up. It took me a while to kind of figure out what they were doing. Now I do remember the theme song, because one thing I do like, if I don't watch the show but the theme song is fire, I will watch the theme song. So I kind of like. What I also like about it too is what I notice is not only when they do the theme song, they kind of take on the acting style of whatever show they're doing in the theme. So of course Malcolm and his brothers were annoying and whiny and stuff like that sometimes. So the twins, which you guys know, I just to get on my nerves, but they were extra whiny this episode for some reason to me. And I feel like that's kind of reminiscent of Malcolm. And, I know his younger brother was a little irritating sometimes. But yeah, I'm digging it. I like, when they kind of jump decades. And what I want to see them do, or what I'm predicting, is eventually you got to be friends. Even though I wasn't into it. I feel like WandaVision would really do a good job with the Friends opening. I'm really disappointed if they don't do it.
That would honestly be pretty interesting, because it'd be a lot different camera angles than they've been showing so far. Kind of more of the actual sitcom-esque type stuff. So after we get our little Malcolm in the Middle intro, we get a glimpse at the OG costumes, Scarlet Witch, Vision, and also Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Y'all think of these kind of Walmart brand costumes that they were wearing? Monique, I'll throw it at you first.
I mean, if you're a comic book fan, you definitely love the callbacks from not only the costumes for Scarlet Witch, Vision, and Quicksilver, but also the costumes for Wicked and Speed as well, for Billy and Tommy. Like, I mean, if you're a comic book fan, that's something that you automatically noticed as soon as they popped out on the screen. So I absolutely love how Marvel and Disney, even though they always pop those little Easter eggs in the, you know, whether it be in every episode or every movie or whatever, they always try to pop in those little Easter eggs to just give, you know, comic book fans are like, hey, what's up? We still here with y'all. We see y'all. We thank you for the support, you know. So I love that.
Straight up. Love Easter eggs. Probably my favorite thing to kind of look for within Marvel franchises, for sure. RJ, what do you think the costumes, man?
I loved it. I love the little corny, cheesy kind of way they brought it in. They're doing it through Halloween. Because what other way would you bring those ridiculous costumes in? So I appreciated that they brought it in through the Halloween episode. It kind of reminded me of like when you play X-Men Legends. Are those guys who are gamers and have played that game? You can kind of unlock different skins and stuff like that. And I remember unlocking the classic comic book skins for my characters, and I'd be so hyped to, equip those skins. So I don't know, it just brought me back. So I was digging the Scarlet Witch and the Vision throwback bootleg Halloween costumes.
Man, you bringing me back with X-Men Legends right there,
man.
man.
What y'all know about X-Men Legends?
That's a good game,
man.
Jacob, how you feeling about it, man?
I mean, I'm obviously I'm a comic book fan. You already know that, but I liked it, because I like how Marvel keeps it modern. The movie's modern, and they always find a way to not make it corny. If they bring back some of the old stuff, because when you saw Wanda in this, this first costume that she was in for her Halloween costume. Like the first appearance was like in 1964, so it's just crazy how Marvel just digs so deep back into history and finds a way to incorporate that into the Marvel universe that we're watching now. I love it.
Yeah, I definitely think their modern take on their OG costumes was very well set for this kind of era that they did it in a Halloween kind of way. So I thought that was really cool. Pam, how you feeling about it?
It was the same deal. When I saw it, I was like, here we go. This is nice. But then also I liked it because I felt like it played a lot into this episode, which we're about to see. I had heard that Elizabeth Olsen, so this originally wasn't supposed to happen. And Elizabeth Olsen fought for this.
Really?
She wanted the comic book accurate costumes to be part of this series. So, I mean, just to know that, just to see how seriously she's taking this role and how she's helping birth this series, I was proud to see it. Another thing, though, I did laugh because I did flash back to Cardi B and her Scarlet Witch costume she did for Halloween. and I was laughing because I was like, yeah, that costume is not this costume, but it's still appreciated. You know what I mean? But yeah, I love these costumes. Love the part that it plays in this episode, which I'm sure we'll get to in just a moment. So,
yeah, definitely. It really shows that when the actors and actresses really love their role, that they really want what the fans really want. Like, we wanted to see that some kind of way. So I think that was really cool that she fought for it and she wanted it in the show. After we see the costumes, we get a little mini fight between Wanda and Vision, where Vision kind of goes off script, and it kind of throws Wanda off. He's like, I'm gonna go on patrol. There's crime out. I'm part of the neighborhood watch or whatever. And Wanda's just like, what? That's not what you're supposed to do. And he's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What? And so before he leaves, he kisses Wanda on the cheek and says, "Be good." So my question to y'all is, what do you think he means by "be good"? Is there something more behind that, or is he just saying "be good"? Jacob, I'm gonna throw this one to you first, man.
This show has thrown me off in so many ways. Maybe to me, it may seem as though be good means make sure nothing goes crazy. Don't think too much about something and then make that one mistake, and then your reality will go away, or something else will go away. That's my opinion. I that's all I can say.
Yeah, it is definitely it's definitely a lot going on subliminally, I think, with these two as well. Cam, how you feeling about it?
Yeah, I'm along the same lines. The be good was him saying, okay, don't think of nobody else, because I think he's piecing some of it together, and I think that the arrival of Quicksilver has got him kind of on a high alert. So basically him telling her, like, be good. Don't dream up no other. Don't bring nobody else into this. Like, don't dream up any other shenanigans at this
Don't
point.
start nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, won't be nothing.
Don't bring the whole X-Men universe into this show, please.
Right.
Yeah, real talk though.
Don't bring Holly Berry Storm up in here.
No, actually, she can come. So we'll welcome her.
Just leave Alexandra Shipstorm where she at.
No.
Oh man.
Okay, so Monique, how do you think there's anything behind the "be good"?
Yeah, I think Vision was like, stop making these people go crazy and feel agree. Just stop. Like, let's have a good day. Stop making these people reset when something doesn't go your way. Just let everything flow. Be good. Like, stop torturing these people while I go figure out how we get our asses out of this shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She's right though.
Like, just don't mess anything up. Wait here. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
There was no other way to say that.
There really is another way to say that. Like,
RJ, how are you feeling about it?
I'm pretty much in agreement with everybody. For me, I feel like the be good is really layered, because at this point we got to realize Vision knows what's going on. He's starting to figure out and put pieces together. He knows what's going on isn't right. He knows Wanda's, the source of everything that's going on, and he knows that, not only is she a source of it, that these people are in pain. And so I think that whole be good was, don't do any more damage than you've already done, because when he did the zap thing to their heads, and he learned they're in agonizing pain and stuff like that. So I feel like that's kind of like, you've already done enough. Please don't have me come back to more bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think that, like, it what's so beautiful about the show too is how they are, like I said, going to each decade, and, like, back in, like, the early 1930s when we weren't even born, all that, there's what we found out is that there's times where men have, I guess, always thought women were crazy, and they're the housewife, and in this reality it seems like she's still playing that housewife role, and Vision's like going off to work. And it's like Mo was saying, it's like, when he said be good to Wanda's, like, okay, what that really meant was, like, I'm going off to work, I'm gonna go do something, you stay right here, don't break anything, don't act crazy, okay, just stay right there, and then just leave. That's what it seems like to me. I think that's how it kind of like binds. I mean, it'll sound kind of like messed up, but I think that's what Marvel does. They make it realistic, but enough to where they don't make it too focused on the real aspect, because it's a superhero show, if that makes sense.
They're kind of playing into the stereotypes of that time frame.
Yeah.
I should say.
Yeah.
But so after that, everyone kind of splits their separate ways. Vision goes on a separate adventure. Wanda, Pietro, and the kids go on their adventure. And then we also get a look at the outside world, what's really going on out there. So we're going to kind of focus on outside the Hex at the moment. It kind of kicks off Rambo is pissed. She's mad at Hayward because he shot a rocket at Wanda, and that could have got them all killed. And
Yeah.
they go through the whole little argumentative thing, and Hayward kind of kicks all of Rambo's team out. Now, I think this might have been kind of a power move, and he is kind of threatened by Rambo's team because she has kind of been so against pretty much everything that he's been doing. So my question to y'all is, do you think Hayward has an ulterior motive to kicking Monica Rambeau's team out? RJ, I'm gonna throw it at you first.
Yeah, he has an ulterior motive as far as kicking the team out, because when you want to do dirt, you can't really do your dirt when people are in your way. So of course you're going to do what you have to do to get the people out of their way, so you can do the things that so you can cross those lines, so you can eliminate that red tape and things like that. He rubs me the wrong way. How he goes about doing things, how he goes about, yes, he's a complete jerk about everything. He just rubs me the wrong way about stuff. I don't like him at all. I really did not like the sassy friend comment. That definitely that definitely rubbed me the wrong way when he was like, "Which one's the sassy friend?" I had like a double take and like, oh, what? And it's crazy because I was expecting Monica to pop off, but she never did. She didn't do anything. So I don't know. That threw me off. But yeah, that's how I feel about the whole situation.
Yeah, Monica definitely being, a strong female character. I thought she would have said something back to him, but when she didn't, I was like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
The road less travel, she's being a better person, Monique, how you feeling about it?
I definitely think that Hayward is feeling very threatened by Monica, because she's already got Darcy and Jimmy Woo on her side. Who else is she going to get on her side? And I think that's what he's most afraid of. In terms of that sassy comment, though, this is a TV show. This is Disney. I understand that. But in real life, Monica would have been like, all right.
Ready.
Let's go. I didn't know we were doing this. So, but yeah, most definitely. I feel like she's really, Hayward is like, I need everybody on my side at this point. And if you start to convince other people around me that, Scarlet Witch is not Scarlet Witch, but I done forgot this child's name because I'm so mad about that.
Wanda, girl, Wanda.
I'm sorry, it's in the title of the show. I'm so mad. Anyway, if you continue to convince people around here that Wanda's the good guy, I'm not going to be able to get what I need done. So,
I didn't think of that.
My earrings back.
That is a good point. Yeah.
really committed to that bit. Good job.
I'm really liking the props, Killer Kim, what do you think?
Man, so Hayward is like, in my opinion, he's like the epitome of mediocrity. He knows Monica, and that's basically what he did. He pulled a power move because we know that Monica, Darcy, and Jimmy know way more than he thinks they know, and they were able to come to these conclusions quicker than he was. They also know whatever he was doing with Vision's body is not on the up and up. So he was threatened, and he doesn't need them to know any more than they already do know. But we come to find out, there's a whole bunch Homeboy has been doing in the background. So I feel like that was his way of pushing them away to not thwart whatever he's got going on. Because I've always side-eyed him, but there's something with him. There's something with him, whether it's involved with the anomaly or not, I don't know. There's something else on the back burner that he's trying to do. Why else would he go out of his way to brand Wanda as this villain where she's an Avenger? She's been an Avenger,
Yeah.
He's going out of his way to do that. So we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, it was a power move.
Now that you mentioned Vision's body, it really brought to my mind that Wanda took him out of Sword's facility. So that could also be another reason why Hayward doesn't want to play Wanda as any kind of good guy, because he doesn't want anyone to realize what they're really doing with Vision's
Right.
bodies. That was a very good point that you brought up. Jacob, what are you thinking?
I mean, I agree, Cam, just because I think that what's happening is that Wanda is in a situation where there's one scene that when she had it was in episode 4 or 5 when she had like the lasers pointed at her by Hayward's guns. That was episode 4, right?
5.
It was
Was
5.
it 4 or 5? It was
Yeah.
5.
It was 5. Yeah, when she had the weapons pointed at her. She said something, I don't remember exactly what it was, but she kind of gave him this side eye, and that was like another hint. But even before that, I think we go back to the beginning of the show. I think when we all saw when Monica Rambeau walked into the sword headquarters, and then she didn't really have any access, and this dude walks up, and we're like, "Who is this guy?" And he's telling her what to do. It's like, hold on, something's not right. So I think and we've seen the evolution of how he's trying to bring her down every time. The way he talks to her, especially the way he looks at her, all of it, the way she's not included on stuff, everything. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I definitely see a Caucasian male masculinity role that this man is taking over. Like, I'm in charge. This is what's kind of going on. You're beneath me, kind of role that he's got playing.
The term you're looking for is mayonnaise.
And another thing that irritated me too, Black people rule number 1: do not talk about my mama. Do not bring my mama.
Yes.
Yo.
That's another reason why I was like, in the real world, something would have popped off.
It would have been a rap. Like, do not talk about my mom. Like, we're about to fight. Like, I don't understand why Monica didn't square up right then and there. I don't. Oh, bro, it lit a fire into me. Like, I literally sat up and I was like, what?
I think we should wait for it. She's not done with him.
Yeah, I feel like at some point in time she's gonna get him back for that.
Yeah, I think so too. She can't go out like that, man. Mm-hmm. She can't go out like that.
She has to just knock him out. I'm sure it's gonna be one swift punch. That's all she really needs, because Hayward kind of looks like a punk. So
he's soft.
He could. But so yeah, after that, they're getting escorted out of the camp. Agent Wu and Monica just kind of body both of the guards that are taking them out. Who knew? I mean, I already knew Monica Rambeau had hands, but who knew Agent Wu had hands? Like,
don't sleep on him. He got the magic card tricks, man. Don't sleep on him.
See, but I didn't know he had hands like that.
For real. Yeah. I mean, it would make sense. He's an FBI.
That's a card.
Are we talking about mamas?
We're talking about mothers.
Yeah,
that's funny.
That was that.
Yeah.
But after that, they kind of sneak into this tech area, and Darcy kind of hacks into Hayward's devices, and we learn a couple different things with this happening. We learned that Hayward is tracking Vision. They're tracking the decaying vibranium, is what I believe they said. Why do you think that they're tracking Vision?
I missed that. Oh, I missed that part. I didn't know they were tracking decaying vibranium.
Yeah.
He's basically tracking the whole hex at this point.
Yeah. He's tracking he's tracking Vision, and that's the decaying vibranium, but he's also tracking everybody else who's in the hex. But my question is, you saying that y'all wasn't doing nothing to Vision's body or nothing, like Wanda just came in and stole everything. how are you tracking his body? Do you have a tracker on him? Like, when did you have time to put that tracker on him? Like, what's going on?
Absolutely. You know? That's the question I asked when that
Wow.
happened, because I'm like, he said a couple of episodes ago that Wanda was going against Vision's living will. Well, what the hell was y'all doing in there?
Yeah.
Y'all are creating to use him as some sort of weapon to go out into space and do whatever the fuck y'all want him to do.
Yeah.
But this is how you know he's not on the up and up, because if you were just storing his body, why would there need to be a tracker on it?
Mm-hmm.
True.
I didn't think of that at all. Yeah, okay, so if his living will stated that he didn't want to be resurrected or brought back or used for anything else, what were you doing with him? Why wasn't his body destroyed? I mean, I know you probably can't destroy that, but I'm pretty sure, like, why were you using him for spare parts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jacob, what do you think? What are you thinking about it?
Man, I'm stuck, man. I really, honestly, I really do not have an answer for this. But one thing I can say, I know we're not getting into theories yet, but maybe with as far as vibranium goes, the only thing I can really think of is something that has to do with, the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom, because, vibranium's been on Wakanda. Doctor Doom in comics has invaded Wakanda at one point. Maybe he used Ulysses' claw at one point. I don't know. It's really tough to say. I'm stuck.
Yeah, it is definitely a interesting. It's definitely interesting what's going on behind the scenes, and there's so much that we don't really know yet. Another thing we kind of see in these scenes, Darcy says that Hayward has Monica's blood work, and her cells are being changed. She has gone into the hex and out of the hex, and her cells are being changed. So this kind of brought a theory to my mind. I want to know if you guys may be on board with it. Monica Rambeau is the original female Captain Marvel. Do you think that maybe this will be kind of a precursor to her getting superpowers?
Yes.
There you go. Definitely.
And I actually kind of feel like the way she like shrugged it off, because like Darcy was like, he has your blood work, and like every time you go in and out of this hex, like you're changing. And Monica was like, eh. So I kind of feel like she knew about it just a little bit. Like there might be a hint or something in there that she knows a little bit about what's going on to her. Like maybe something this has already happened before the hex, or she's just like at this point, like, I don't care what's happening to me. We just need to, find out what's going on. But for a second there, I was like, does she know? Does she already know something's happening to her?
I mean, I felt like she does. Remember when they got her lab work back and it was just lights?
Yeah.
And remember they were like, oh, we got to do it again. She's like, nah. She knew.
That might be something going back to why she was like, when they mentioned Captain Marvel earlier, and she was like, that bitch. That might have something to do as to why she's got beef with Captain Marvel right now. I don't know.
Yeah,
because lights, that her power in the comic books is like kind of
photon.
Yeah. Photon, and they've mentioned the name Spectrum a few times in this season, also, which is one of her aliases. So
because her mom already has the name Photon. So because Monica has 3 names in the comics: Pulsar, Photon, and then what I just say?
Interesting.
All 3 of those.
Opening my
y'all
eyes
with these theories, man.
I don't know. I just felt like she wouldn't have been so nonchalant about her blood work, her lab work, because she literally was like, oh, we got to do it again. She was like, nah. Nah, I'm good.
Maybe she's so focused because she knows what she has to do, and she was inside of the hex, and she was under Wanda's control. And she knows what it feels like. Maybe she's so, I guess, determined to get everybody out of what she came out of. Maybe that's kind of why she's like she feels different.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think Hayward knows about it too on some level. I think he knows, because why would he have her blood work? Why would he be looking at it if he knew there was going to be an anomaly with it? I feel like this whole thing about her having powers precedes this whole show.
It could be.
Okay.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, definitely some good theories y'all are throwing out there. So my last question for outside of the hex. Darcy is breaking through all the firewalls, and she finally gets through the last one and emails something to Wu. We don't see what it is. We don't know what it is. It's obviously something very important to the show. But what do you guys maybe think that Darcy could have sent to Agent Wu? Cam?
Now that one I didn't know. And I wondered if that was the email that Vision saw when he was at work and everyone was in the office. But then I didn't know. So that one kind of left me a little bit like, okay, I need to pay attention. You know what I mean? And they keep mentioning this other person who might be able to help them. I didn't know if that was a part of it. So I don't know. I'm still watching that one and trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's definitely a big what if kind of question because we really have no idea. But Mo, what do you think?
I'm the same. I really don't know what it is. I was like, this could be Hydra. This could be this could be anything at this point. I'm kind of leaning towards maybe he's got something to do maybe with Hydra. There's been a lot of I guess Easter eggs within the shows, within the episodes. That kind of point to Hydra might have something to do with this, especially in the commercials that they've showed during the episodes. But I don't know. That was the one thing in the show where I was like, they gonna leave me another week with this because I have no idea. I was like, I have no idea what this big thing could be.
I definitely did not even think about. I totally forgot about the Hydra Easter eggs that we've gotten. Mm-hmm. Jacob, what are you thinking about it?
So at first I was kind of on Cam Monique's page, but now that they said a couple of things, I'm thinking about something. So I think what's going on, what's the guy's name? I forgot his name already. That was talking to Agnes on the fence in episode 3.
Herb.
The black
in the wall.
Herb. Okay, so I mean, we might segue into this, but there's a funny moment when Herb was saying, "Oh, hey, like something's going on," and da 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 da, and then like stuff is happening around him in the back when everyone's outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, the moment kind of stops. So I think that because if you go back into episodes 1 and 2, somehow we heard that Wanda, who's doing this to you, in every like signal in the radio and in different parts of like her reality, we heard signals come through in someone's voice. We just didn't know it was Agent Wu's. So I think maybe Darcy's sent that email to let Agent Wu know to access Wanda to tell her what's going on the outside because there's an enemy on reality, there's an enemy in the Earth realm or whatever it is, So she may have sent a distress signal so he could send it out to Wanda or something to tell her, hey, like this is what's going on. Something I don't know.
I mean, honestly, it's definitely a big what if. So it could be any of that. RJ, what do you think?
This episode pissed me off because it ended on a cliffhanger, and then that email has been driving me crazy. Because we know the MCU is so big, man. It could literally be Howard the Duck. We don't know. We don't know what it could be.
That's like his 6th appearance, man. He's been in like 4 movies already.
He hitting all the MCU movies, man. We don't know. Maybe she could have, sent it something to Wu about somebody else maybe involved. Maybe they found something. Maybe because we had a lot of theories last week. Maybe she saw something that kind of confirmed one of the many theories we threw out last week about it being Mephisto or something like that. Maybe she saw that Wanda found a book or something like that. I don't know. That's why I love Marvel and I hate Marvel at the same time, because now I'm going to be up all night, on my computer trying to find little Easter eggs and stuff like that, rewatching it. One thing I just find I wish that they wouldn't have done, but I laugh at it every time I see it. It's like when I got to hack into the mainframe and I mean, like. Yeah, but what can you do? That's TV magic. Apparently, you have to go da da da, and then you say you're in. So yeah.
RJ, what do you think of my Quicksilver meme with staying up all late at night looking at the WandaVision.
That's gonna be me tonight. I'm gonna be up all night on my laptop. You know, I got to charge it now, so I'm gonna be up all night looking for Easter eggs and themes. I'm going to comic book shops like the Dave Chappelle. You got any more of that? I'm about to be bugging. Are they in that WandaVision comics?
All right.
Oh,
So
man.
the next little adventure we're going to look at is Wanda, Pietro, and the kids. And this is, we kind of get a closer look at Quicksilver in this episode, because in the last episode we just got a quick, hey, it's me, Quicksilver, I'm back, but I'm not the one you know, for real. So Wanda kind of starts off questioning Pietro, you know, like, why do you look like this? What's going on with that? Why are you here? And my question to y'all is, why do you all think that we have this version of Quicksilver? Jacob, I'm gonna throw that one to you.
I think it's definitely an alternate reality, because I don't know like what's going on with this whole rights thing. I know that Marvel has the rights from Fox, but you know, you've been hearing the rumors going on with Spider-Man being in the next, and then he's not being in it, that he is, and then he's not. So man, it's just, this episode really, it didn't confuse me. It's just like, how are they gonna fit in Pietro from the other Pietro? Is this like are they going to remix the X-Men universe into this somehow, or are they going to just bring him back to life? So honestly, again, I'm really stuck.
I was going to say also, it turns out later that this Pietro had memories of the MCU's Pietro. So that was another confusing thing to me. And yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
What do you think we have this version of Pietro?
That ain't Pietro. That's
not my Pietro.
Because I think they gave us subtle hints throughout the episode where he would be like, yeah, that's worse than that time, and our mom, you know, dressed us up in those Halloween costumes way back when. And she was like, and Wanda was like, I don't remember it exactly being like that. And then you have these instances throughout the episode where she's asking him questions and he's like, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to test me, but you didn't answer the question, bro. Like, you didn't, you're sitting here, accusing me of, trying to catch me doing something, but you still not answering these questions. So I really don't believe that is the Pietro from the MCU. I believe it might be somebody else, maybe Mephisto. I don't know, but I don't think that is the Pietro that we've known from Age of Ultron.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm on the opposite side, actually. Well, actually, it can kind of go a few ways, though, from this point, because if you think about it, I'm already of the mindset that the multiverse is already splitting apart.
Okay.
Because she was like, well, how did you get here? Well, you said you needed me, so I came. Mm-hmm. Wanda's not a necromancer. She can't bring people back to life. She's got vision, but vision isn't necessarily a human soul. So that doesn't count. But I feel like with the universe kind of ripping the multiverse, she said she needed him. It pulled him from the other one. And he's been assimilated into the hex, so it's rewriting his memories. Now, I agree with Monique also. Something about this episode kind of made me feel like that's not him, though. There was something up with it. I feel like that Halloween memory was fabricated. Mm-hmm. I don't think they had Halloween back then, or wherever they're from in Sokovia. Right. Like, if it's based on like a Russian or a Slavic country, there's no Halloween there.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, like Nick Fury, and I guess they were trying to say she was dressed as Natasha. They wouldn't know them as kids. I didn't see that, but that's what one of my other friends was telling me. But I'm like, why? How would they know of Nick Fury and Black Widow back then? Right. I felt like that memory was fabricated.
And he's
Yeah.
also aware of things that have happened to the people within the hex. Like if he is something that she brought from somewhere else, how would he know basically all the things that have happened within the hex up until then?
Now, I'll save that for theories because there's a theory there also. But also let's look at Wanda as who we've known her to be and who she is in this series. She's changed. She's evolved. There's something different about her. And I feel like I said it last couple of episodes, they're starting to give her more of the Scarlet Witch personality from the comic books.
Yep.
This is
You
her
see
turning
that
point.
slipping in.
Yeah.
And with her accent coming in and out, I also feel like maybe that's something with the multiverse. Maybe her person or her soul between those universes is starting to merge.
Yeah.
So there's some confusion happening in her brain. You know, we've seen it. But the other good thing that we all see, she doesn't control Pietro at all either.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't knock him back for his mouth.
That was literally like, shut the fuck up.
That's exactly what that was.
Yeah. But
RJ,
I mean, that's the other part of it, though. Think about it. Also, didn't Agnes was surprised when the kids were like, "Oh, you can bring people back from the dead," and she was like, "You can do that."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
are they aware of what her limits of her powers are?
I don't think anybody is at this point. She hasn't done this whole telepathic thing as she's done in this series in the movies. Yeah. Like she's, like you said, sparkle fingers, nightmares. She's never actually taken control of somebody's body, and we saw she did at least 10 of them. So,
makes me think. Because and what was crazy to me is, you know, we saw the accent come back when she came outside the hex the first time, and now we see them mention it again. So I wonder if this accent is important because they wouldn't have done this multiple times if it didn't mean something. It's one thing for it to be a one-off joke or a one-off thing, but being that they brought her accent back, I wonder if this has something to do with, I guess, resetting, or like we said, you know, her characters kind of blending. If her characters blending to her comic book persona, because that's what it seems like is going on here. Is that she's kind of turning into who she's supposed to be before Marvel didn't have the rights to her.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that honestly, yeah, all very interesting on what is going on, especially in these few scenes. There's also something I wanted to point out. I don't know if Marvel intended this, but it was right before Pietro and the kids take off. They say something about kick ass, and Wanda goes kick ass. Because both Pietros were in the movie Kick Ass. So I don't know if that was intentional, but I thought that was really
cool. Now we got to go watch Kick Ass because they probably, knowing Marvel, they probably knew this was going to happen. They planned this 10 years, 20 years in advance, and they planted an Easter egg in Kick Ass. So we got to go back and watch it now.
Well, if that's the case, we also got to watch The Incredibles and Parent Trap too.
Yeah.
Real talk.
We did kind of mention a little bit before that this Pietro is not affected by Wanda's powers in the slightest. She goes, where'd you get all these kids from? Because in the last episode they even talked about it. Wanda, where are all the kids? There's no kids here. And they just keep kind of talking, and Pietro's kind of like, you know, you can talk to me. How are you doing all this? And blah, blah, blah. And now just thinking about it, Monique, when you said that you don't think that this is Pietro and it could be Mephisto, just popping in my head, maybe it is Mephisto trying to figure out how Wanda is doing all this stuff. And yeah, that could be very interesting. But my question for y'all was, why do you think he's not affected? RJ, I'm going to throw it at you first.
I don't know. I feel like he's also there to push her buttons to kind of like test and see where her power level is at. I don't know. It's confusing to see because y'all mentioned before that this doesn't seem like he doesn't seem like a good guy. He seems like an antagonist in the way he's written, the way he keeps like doing things to grind her gears and piss her off. I have no idea why he's not affected by it. I have no idea why he's the one to kind of like, and he doesn't even hide the fact that she has no control over him. He's very bold about it, and it's confusing me. So I can't really too much put my finger on why is it that he doesn't have why doesn't that Wanda have control over him? Maybe it's something to the fact that maybe he's the one kind of helping her do this. I don't know, because this isn't the same Wanda that we've seen. You know, like we said, her personality's changing. So I don't have a reason for that one. Honestly, I'm stumped.
Yeah, it's definitely, yeah, y'all's theories about it kind of changed my perspective on what might possibly be going on. Jacob, what are you thinking about it, man?
Okay, Rogi has a good point.
So from the beginning, me personally, I've never thought this was Mephisto. A lot of people are saying it's Mephisto, and the reason I'll explain later when we get into theories why I don't think it's Mephisto. But I mean, for the most part, I agree with RJ. I'm kind of stumped on this because I really don't know. But I think as far as other things as far as control, it may come to like, there's a funny scene where was it Agnes, like, you can't go past Ellis Road or whatever.
Oh.
And she's kind of acting like she kind of like, Vision taps into her head and all that, and then she comes back out. And then, like, she taps it back in, and then she acts all normal again. And I think Agnes is trying to find a way in this and try to like keep Wanda saying this reality. I think it's all Agnes. I think Mephisto doesn't have anything to do with this dimension or power or anything like that, the reality, because I think it's deeper than that. Because, like I said, I'll explain that later. But I think it's something else. I never thought it was Mephisto.
Hey, honestly, it could be anything, honestly, but
yeah.
It's to me.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hear you, Trey.
You caught over there.
I think the sound cut out real quick.
Smoke coming out of the brain and everything.
I don't think it's Mephisto. I really don't.
What's think
up, that.
Yo.
Let's see. Hold on. What's going on? Yeah, I don't think it's Mephisto. I think it is a version of Pietro. I'm gonna save it for theories once we get up there, because there's some dots that need to be connected before I get to that point.
Yeah, I agree.
I think.
Yeah,
I think we're
exactly.
here.
Yeah. Ken, we here. Ken, I got you. Exactly.
Go at Monique.
So I think it's Mephisto. I'm just gonna guess what y'all saying. I think the reason why she's not able to control him, though, I think Agnes does have something to do with this. I think Mephisto is Agnes's husband that she keep talking about that nobody ever sees, and I think at some point they helped Wanda create this world, but I think at some point it might have got out of their control and Wanda started doing things on her own. And I think that's why Mephisto, one of the reasons why he came in as Pietro, because he was asking her all kinds of questions like, how are you doing this? How are you? And he tested her powers like, hey, don't worry, he can't die twice. Like, and waited to see what she was going to do. So I think at this point he was like, wait a minute, we helped you create this world, but you doing all this other stuff. I need to get in here and figure out how you're doing on this and how powerful you really are, because I need to use it some way, somehow. But I need to know everything you got first.
I think, yeah. I think I might be, I'm kind of in the middle of everything, but
most definitely Desiree.
Yeah, I was just about to say with Des what she's saying. Yeah. That bitch was faking it. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
she was faking it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
And then can I also add, before we get into Little Vision's adventure, we see a another horrifying dead person when we get a glimpse at dead Quicksilver, with just his gray face and bullet wounds through his body. I thought that was a good touch for a Halloween episode, I should say.
Yeah.
Now getting into Vision's little adventure right after he leaves the house. You know, we see him walking around kind of observing, and he sees more glitches within the hex. At first he sees people just kind of redoing certain movements. Someone's like re-putting up this Halloween string. Someone's putting this pumpkin in a different place. And then he gets further and further, and then people just aren't moving at all. And they kind of talk about that outside the hex when they see the tracking on Vision. They see all the other people. And they're like, why aren't they moving? In my personal opinion, I think that it might be the limit of Wanda's power at that point. Like, she only has enough power to make people move in the designated area, and then everyone else is just kind of frozen. What do y'all kind of think is going on with the frozen people in this point? Monique.
I just think it's Wanda not reaching those people. Again, she said back in episode 5, like, do you really think I'm doing all this, making sure everybody's getting to their dentist appointments on time and stuff like that? No, you're not. We see these people on the outside that are redoing, movements, and some people that aren't moving, even talking at all. So, like, I feel like you still have something to do with this, but you can't the further and further out that you get in terms of the hex borders. These people are just sitting there in agony, in this grief, like that same grief and agony that Monica was talking about, like she just felt when she, was in the hex. I think they're just feeling the same thing, but they don't have anything to do in the meantime to, take their minds off of it.
Agreed. Jay, what are you thinking?
I'm not sure. I think because, like, even before the show came out, we saw in the trailer. If you looked at it really closely, there was like a still kind of moment where Vision like flew off in the episode. He was wearing his Halloween outfit, I think, and like people were like frozen and they were looking at him. So I think that either someone's controlling the neighborhood, but not controlling Wanda. She's trying to there's some kind of balance in that. This episode's got me all over the place, man. I really don't know.
Okay. Cam, what are you thinking?
I'm with Monique on this one. It's just like a signal. She can't reach that far, and she doesn't need them. I mean, up to this point, we didn't see any kids. I'm assuming they was in bed sleep because she didn't need them at that point. But now that it's Halloween, she's got them activated. Maybe that's why she can't reach that far, because she's got the kids all active trick-or-treating and stuff in the area. So I don't know. I just looked at it like a Wi-Fi signal. I get shitty Wi-Fi in my bedroom. That's what it is.
Honestly, I agree totally with that as well.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, man?
They mentioned earlier, I guess in episode maybe 1 or 2, where we only see what Wanda wants us to see on the broadcast. So if you're not needed, if you're not going to be on screen, what does she need you for? And you imagine how power it takes just to control the people that are in her vicinity, to keep the reality up, even inanimate objects, that she has to create, out of thin air, the power that takes in itself. So I feel like that, and when we saw the woman redoing the movement, it just kind of made me think that maybe they only needed her when the camera had to pan past her, and they only needed to see her doing that. So that's why Wanda didn't expel any more magic on any more movement with her, because the camera probably only needed to pan past her at a certain point, seeing her do that one movement. So for me, that's kind of what I got out of it, was that we didn't really need to she really didn't need anybody. I'm hating on the twins because the twins are trash. They're annoying. They aggravate me.
RJ.
Oh, yes. I hate those twins. I can't stand them. Let me write them off. I can't stand those twins. But nah, I do feel like that it was true. It's like it's like a signal. It can only work, but so far she's already got this massive hex, and over an entire city. To waste the magic on getting, like Monique said, getting people to dentist appointments, getting them up on time. She don't got time for all that. So that's what I think that means.
Okay.
I like that point.
For real, yeah. And after we see all this, we see Vision kind of fly up, and he sees Agnes's car, goes up to it, and she's just like, "Where's the Spooktacular?" He's like, "You don't know where it is. You grew up here." And this is more of him kind of piecing together that these people don't really live here. They're not like from here. They're kind of doing stuff. And then, whether she's faking it or not, he puts his finger to her temple, snaps her out of it. And we find out a couple things, that Vision has no idea what Avengers are. And he has no idea that he had died. We see a little bit earlier that he doesn't really have any memory before, I guess, the first episode, but I had always assumed that he knew some other things. So I thought that was very interesting about that. And then shortly after that, he breaks through the hex, and we see that no one is helping him. They're all just kind of watching him. And they're like, oh, he really wants to get out of the hex. And we see that Vision cannot survive outside of the hex, as his body just kind of dissipates and goes back into the hex. So my question to y'all is, why do you think no one's helping Vision? What's going on with that? Cam, what are you thinking about it?
So yeah, first thing is Agnes is faking it, because she did that thing that Karens do, like when you call them, what? What are you talking about? Like, are you for real? Like she's full of shit. She knew Vision was going to be over there by Ellis Street, and she was over there trying to watch him to corral him. That's what she was there to do. Because if you notice, and this goes back to the theme of the episode, Malcolm in the Middle or whatever, she was acknowledged as a cast member with a booty in the air with the rhinestones on her shorts.
Naughty.
So they called her out. Agnes was called out. Pietra was called out as cast members. She's playing a bigger part here, which again we'll get to later. But as Vision goes outside of the hex, again, I'm looking at Hayward sideways, because like, you wanted your boy back, there he is. Why y'all just standing there looking? And Vision is saying, you got to help the people in here, and they looking like they stuck on stupid. So there's something bigger. Hayward was doing something with him.
I definitely agree. I think there's some things in the background going on that we're definitely going to find out, hopefully in the next episode, because I cannot wait. RJ, what are you thinking?
Agnes, wait, where are we? I don't want to skip ahead.
Vision broke out of the hex. Why did no one help him?
Okay,
what's going on?
They were terrified. They probably didn't know what to do. The man was falling apart. I don't think I would have touched him either, especially with this anomaly going on, all this craziness, and people being pulled in and stuff like that. For me, I don't think I could. I don't think I would do anything either. I feel like they didn't. I don't feel like they purposely didn't help him. I feel like they were shocked. For one, the man is dead and gone. He's back to life. There's this hex going on. Wanda is powerful. They're starting to realize that Wanda's more powerful than they originally let on. So I feel like it was more so like, oh shit, what the hell is going on? So it was more like a kind of a shock thing. It's sort of like fight, flight, and there's another one, freeze. And I think they did that one. They froze, and they just didn't know what to do at that point. Were you supposed to try to, help them and continue to pull them out and risk getting sucked in? What do you do in that point?
Okay, yeah, that's a very interesting point. Yeah, Jay, what are you thinking about it, man?
So yeah, I think I agree with RJ, Mo, and Cam, because here's the thing with what RJ said. I think that they're trying to, or Hayward's definitely connected to that, obviously, because Mo was mentioning why'd you put the tracker on, and then Cam is mentioning that they sent him in there, like that's why he wasn't getting the help, because there's a reason behind why he's sent in there with the tracker on. And what RJ said was, as far as like they're trying to do some experiment, I think, while he's in there, to like leave him in there, because I agree with 100% with RJ. The man's dead. He's dead. We all saw him die in Infinity War. He's dead. There's no way he can be brought back unless there's like, we'll get into theories later, unless there's like some kind of like power that they can use from like the past that was mentioned in earlier films or whatever. But I agree with all three of them, because all of what they just said adds up into how like what's the sneaky plan and why they let him hanging like that. And that was dirty. That was dirty as hell.
Yo,
Yeah.
Gerald has a good point. Darcy was cuffed, but was the only one trying to get to Vision. And that was dirty how they did her too. Like they straight left her cuffed to a thing and took off when they got like super dirty.
Yeah, really quick to build off what Jay was saying, like, because I just thought of this, like, why wasn't anybody from Sword helping Vision, and why is Hayward tracking Vision? All these things. Maybe they're trying to figure out a way at this point, because at one point in time when Wanda came and got Vision's body from Sword, he wasn't whole, basically, was he? What if they're like, nah, Vision, get your ass back in there, because for some reason you're whole, you got the mind, is it the Mind Stone? I think it is. In this world, we're trying to get all of that. So we're trying to figure out how we can extract you from this world and have everything. So get your ass back in there until we can figure this out.
Yeah. Yep. It's an experiment. I just think it's an experiment, because I mean, it's like I was mentioning with all them, like you're going through all these measures to. There's just something sneaky about it. Something sneaky about him and how they're luring Vision and what Wanda did. So it's just something's not right. Mm-hmm. Obviously.
Yeah. Agreed. And so after we see all that, first of all, we see Tommy and Billy get their powers. Tommy, turns into speed, gets the speed. Billy gets, his psychological kind of powers, which is how he senses Vision outside in pain. And this see.
Sorry.
I know the controversies.
I hope so too.
But we see Wanda power up. We see a lot in a lot of shows and anime and stuff like that. When people are at the height of their emotions, their powers get more powerful. So she extends the hex, taking most of Sword with her. I think really the only people who escaped were Rambeau, Wu, and
Hayward.
Hayward. And I thought that was very interesting. But the question I really want to ask y'all, in the middle of the show, there was a very weird commercial that I honestly have no idea what's going on with it. There's a kid on a stranded island. A shark comes up and hands him some Yo Magic yogurt. And he's like, here you go. And the kid's like, oh yeah, food. And then we see a time lapse of the kid just trying to open it and slowly just dying. Kind of creepy. I have no idea what's going on with this commercial, and I know y'all have some idea what's going on. I'm gonna throw it at Cam last. I feel like say, RJ, what do you think?
What the hell was that? Wither away and die? Did I just see a child die on a Disney show? Like we saw his bones. What is that? And then he was trying to open the yogurt the whole time. Like at some point, why didn't you get a rock? Why didn't you get the crab that was next to you? It made any sense, and I'm laughing now because it just was so. It was weird to me. Like I think when I watched it, I just my mouth was open because I didn't understand what was going on. I just didn't get it. It was weird, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead, y'all. It was weird.
Honestly,
It was so weird.
And they put at the end, it's like, oh, this yogurt's for survivors or something like that.
Like, is that why you think of the yogurt because he died? Like, is that it? But that's the catch-22. It's not fair.
What do you think about it?
Yeah, like to be honest with y'all, at first when I saw this commercial come on, I was like, yo, this is like the Saturday morning cartoons. I can't believe they're doing this. And as the commercial went on, I was like, what the fuck was that? Because like the little kid died because he couldn't open the little Yo Magic yogurt. And at the end, the shark just popped up at the end, was like, Yo Magic, it's for the survivors. And I was like, is somebody gonna die? Is one of them gonna die? I was like, this got really dark for Disney. Like, yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen after this point.
Yeah, it's definitely some weird stuff going on with this commercial. Jacob, what are you thinking, man?
So I think Cam will probably back up what I'm going to say a little bit, but so I think this. I saw what they were trying to do. When at first I was like, this is like, what are they trying to do with this, with the whole like dying part? So I was like, there's something deeper than that. And then it popped in my head like, Reggie said it's not fair. Yeah, no. So what popped in my head, I think, was okay. So you guys repeated the word survivors, only for the survivors. So as you go back to Avengers in all the movies, really, but from like the beginning of Avengers when Thanos showed up. So basically, I think that this was kind of a resemblance of Thanos. I'm not saying that the shark was Thanos, but it kind of was like, you know, this is the only thing that you can have to do whatever you want. And then it resembles like, you know, power and all that, all the stones, but like, you know, it was used for evil because Thanos somehow snapped everyone out of the universe and he was the only survivor. And then what did he want to do after that? He wanted to chill by himself on you know, this plantation or not plantation, the fields. And I think that as far as like with the boy dying, I think it's showing how over time that no one could stop this. And as far as him like being the skull, I think that was like a kind of a resemblance of Red Skull in a way, because it was showing him being abandoned from this whole from the beginning of time, and like him knowing from the stone with Thanos, and all this history that has been before, you know, with Captain America and the Tesseract and the power of that. I think it's just there's something in that has a resemblance with the Infinity Stones. That's my opinion.
Okay. All right, Cam, you got some stuff to say. What's up?
So if y'all don't know, my sister knows this. I have a really sick sense of humor. So when I was watching that commercial, I was laughing so hard because I just thought it was funny. But like Jake said, there are these commercials. There's been a representation from every single stone in these commercials. When they kept saying survivor, I did kind of link it back to Natasha kind of jumping off the cliff to sacrifice herself, or when Gamora got pushed. Basically, there's a sacrifice here that is required for whatever this is to happen. But it also made it click, like it's putting the story together. So y'all know I'm watching this from a Conjure perspective. We've got a parasite on our hands. There's somebody siphoning magic here. Now, who it is, I don't know. I don't know if it's Mephisto. I don't know if it's Nightmare. I don't know who it is, but they're siphoning magic from Wanda, or either Wanda is siphoning magic from them. That's how I looked at it. But it just kind of played into the story just a little bit more for me. Because again, I'm going heavy. I'm sticking with that witchcraft theme that I'm seeing. I'm seeing the parallels. Somebody's a parasite. This is happening because they're siphoning energy, siphoning magic off of someone, it might be Agatha or Agnes. Because one thing we haven't really acknowledged yet, everybody's got on their true to life costumes. Well, Agnes was wearing a witch costume.
Mm-hmm.
She's a witch. She might be. I don't know. I don't think she's the big bad, but who's to put it past her? Like in the comic books, she's already dead. You know, she's very powerful.
She's very powerful.
So, or she might have a bargain going with another realm.
Yeah.
Villain.
Do they use the products in the commercials? Have they used paper towels or have they used yogurt? Because I don't remember them using any of the products that are in the commercials.
So you know the juice that Billy was drinking in the beginning when you the Malcolm Middle intro.
Yeah,
that was the same juice that was in the Lagos commercial that was spilled.
Oh,
so he was drinking that same juice. So there's something there. I just don't know.
Okay.
So with that, that was kind of my final question. So we're gonna jump into theories now. So I think I'm just gonna start with RJ on this one. What are your theories? What do you think is gonna happen in the next episode? What do you think might be going on behind the scenes? What's up?
Honestly, with the way WandaVision is going, I don't have any more theories. I don't want to say something because it's like every time I think something might be going a certain way, it doesn't. The only thing I'm 100% sure on, and I hope I'm not wrong. It looks stupid at the end of this, but I'm hoping that. Can y'all still hear me? My mic.
Yeah, we can
hear you.
Yeah, you good.
Yeah. Only thing I'm sure about is I feel like this is an introduction to the Fantastic Four, and she's gonna bring in Mr. Fantastic. I was hoping that he would come in this episode, but he didn't. But that's who they're gonna go get to solve this problem.
Okay. Jacob, what are your theories, man?
I got a few. I'm gonna keep it short as I can. I think one is that I think this has something to do with RJ. I agree, Dr. Doom, and with vibranium and Wakanda and some kind of energy force. So he's somewhere doing something right now. Do I know what it is? No. But I also think that as far as like people are saying it's Mephisto, I think I'm gonna have to agree with Cam on this one. I think it's either Nightmare, or I think my other theory is that it's Dormammu, because as I keep bringing up that he has not died in Doctor Strange, he's been recycled in time. So I think in order for him to come to the Earth dimension, he has to have a host. So I think what he's trying to do maybe is find a host for someone to cling on to and portray as a demon-like or devil-like creature, but or it could be Mephisto. But again, I still don't think it's that. I think it's way deeper than that, because when you go back and watch these Marvel movies, there's always something that's missing. And I was watching Doctor Strange the other day, and they were mentioning a lot about the time and the vortex stuff, especially with Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man will have a lot to do with this as well. So I think there's something along the time. I mentioned Kang the Conqueror, but all in all, right now, as far as cosmic energy and stuff, I think there's only two things that my theories are: is Agnes controlling something, doing something, and the Fantastic Four are gonna eventually show up. That's it. Marvel does a great job of hiding this, and that's why I love the show.
Okay. Cam, what are you thinking?
So this show is being used as a segue, I feel like. Again, it's setting up the next Doctor Strange movie. I honestly don't think it's just Mephisto. Who says there can't be more than one villain? We don't know what's happening in this next movie, nor do we know what's happening in the rest of the universe while we're distracted by Wanda's ass. I feel like there's other stuff going on here, and we might not just have one person being the villain. I think there might be multiple at play.
I agree.
Yeah, Marvel does two villains sometimes. They do.
Yeah. And I think I just have this feeling they're setting Wanda up to become a villain as well. I just see that because there's no way she comes out of this the same person. There's no way. And we know in the comics, the whole reason the House of M actually jumped off was because of her grief. So I think what the MCU is doing is taking parts of that story and twisting it so that they can bring in the rest of these properties like Fantastic Four and the X-Men. That's what I think is happening. I think there's a part in the comic book where she actually wipes out mutants. I think it's going to be the reverse for this one. I think she creates mutants. Ooh. And that's how we get the rest of them.
I agree, Cam, on that. Yeah, because I mean, like, I think that we are seeing the insanity part of that, and I think it's just something's going to trigger it, and she's going to wipe out whoever, or she's going to give people powers, you know, cause vegetation across the earth or something. Something.
She's changing reality, which we all know. The key here, though, is now we've got people in the hex she doesn't control. We've got Speed and we've got Wiccan. You've got two very powerful witches now, Wiccan and Wanda. They should have left her alone.
They
should have left her alone. By the end of this series, I think we see Wiccan and Speed age up, become grown-ups. But this is one of those episodes, though, that just kind of everything we thought it could still go that way, but it introduces new what if scenarios, I guess I'll say.
And Cam, to back up off that, I think that I agree with you 100%. And I think what we're starting to see too, and if you guys have noticed for past like 6, maybe 7 months, who's been getting casted in certain roles and stuff. You've been seeing a lot of these actors getting cast for these younger roles. Kate Bishop just got casted. Riri Williams just got casted. So I think what Marvel's
America Chavez.
America Chavez just got casted. Yeah. So, and I think Squirrel Girl, maybe not, but anyway, I think that what's happening is they're trying to find a way to include the Young Avengers in somehow in small bits and pieces. But I think that, you know, us as fans, I mean, we want to see that, but just not too fast. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Miss Monique, what are your theories on it?
Sorry, Monique.
No, you're fine. I'm pretty much agreeing with everything everybody is saying. Like, I feel like at this point, this show could go any way it wants to, and it still all makes sense. I still feel strongly that Wanda's not doing this alone. She's getting help from somebody, whether it be, I think it's Mephisto, but I agree with you guys. It could be Nightmare. It could be somebody else, you know, helping her out with this. So I don't think she's doing this alone. I think we are going to start to see the inclusion or the creation of more mutants, which I'm so happy to finally get in the MCU. I'm not even sure if for some reason, you know, because we have Monica right now, Darcy's like, every time you go in and out of the hex, you know, your cells change. Again, I still think that's something that happened prior to her going into the hex. But if not, we just had a whole bunch more people come into the hex. So if for some reason, if that hex is actually affecting people's cells and their makeup and making them mutants, we just had a whole bunch of not only the sword agents, but we don't know. At the end of the episode, Wanda was still building making the hex as big as she could. So we don't know how far this new hex is going to expand. So there could be other towns that she is included in this, that we now have went through this hex, and now their body's going through some change. And even too, like, she sat there and made this hex bigger. No telling, like, if this is affecting any other part of the world. I feel like she's got this massive control, but with the way that she's feeling right now, the grief that she's going through right now, I'm not sure if she can continue to control it the way she has been. So we could get instances where not only did she make the current hex that we have right now bigger, she could have created other hexes in other places, which are creating mutants. I don't know. But I feel like at this point, this show, it gets better and better each episode. It keeps you on the toes, on your toes. And at this point, it could go any which way. And Marvel always finds a way to come back to it all making sense. I do have a feeling we might see a Doctor Strange cameo. maybe at the maybe very last episode, because at some point with all this stuff going on, Doctor Strange is going to have to show up and be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cam. Go ahead,
Let's
Cam.
not count out what's his face, Baron Mordo. Also,
Yeah.
one of the cutscenes, the end
Yeah.
cutscenes, it looked
Yeah.
like he was Breaking Bad. Also, because he was talking about why else would the sorcerer have this power if they weren't meant to go in the world and fuck it up? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Many sorcerers.
And to back off Cam, Baron Mordo in comics actually does end up betraying Doctor Strange because of how what we saw in the film. Like, you know how the Chosen One was digging into dark energy, into the dimension. He didn't know that. And then he did some favors for Dormammu. So that's going to be really interesting. But now I have another theory because I heard this a while ago. So I think that people have been saying Ghost Rider is going to show up in the future because of how the box in Avengers that, Vision came out. I forgot the name of it. The box that Iron Man created, because it repurposes DNA. I think they're going to try to repurpose someone's DNA and to send them to do a favor for somebody, in send them to a dark dimension or just experiment on them, do something with that. And it could be somebody, it could be, or a demon, something like that. So, I mean, I'm not totally sure, but again, it could be Mephisto doing this because, also Master Pandemonium in the comics took 2 shards from Mephisto's soul and used those as the kids, to fake wands and things she had, kids and all that. Then Master Pandemonium got betrayed by Mephisto. He took his shards back from his soul, which were the children, blah, blah, blah. And it could be that. It could be that. I don't know.
Yeah, man, there's definitely, I don't know. There's so much up in the air. I honestly don't have any theories. Same with RJ. I kind of agree with all of y'all. It could be any one of these things. And I just think that the way that they're taking this show is very cool. Like, we definitely need an introduction to Fantastic Four. I think they're also going to introduce X-Men in this as well. And I just think that is one of the really cool things about this show is that they can do anything. And everything is kind of up in the air at this point. But with that is this episode. Thank you, Blerd Up Reacts, for coming on. And again, let's where can we follow you guys at?
We are at Blerd Up Reacts, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and a few other platforms soon to be. So definitely stay tuned. Again, love these conversations with you guys. So looking to get a lot of them. I know we got Falcon and Winter Soldier coming up, so I'm hoping we get to keep this tradition alive.
Oh yeah,
as that gets launched.
I can't wait for that.
Oh yeah.
We absolutely love having you guys on the show. Definitely giving us some stuff to think about for sure. Jacob, where can we get you at, man?
Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Hero Harrison Talk. That's where we're the most active. We're on social media platforms. Make sure you follow us for the Blerdture on every social media platform. That's it for me.
All right. Oh, RJ, I think he left. But yeah, you guys hit me on TikTok. That's at Spiderboy Trey, and that's Spiderboy with 2 eyes because I had to be different. I'm on Facebook, Trey Mosley. You can get me on Instagram, maximum_spider. And yeah, again, follow us on all platforms for the Blerdture. We're on TikTok also, putting some quality content on there. RJ, where can we get you at, man?
My bad, y'all. We were having technical difficulties. I've been getting in the comments late and trying to pull up the banners as they go. So my bad. Everyone's social medias and links will be in the description below. You can follow me at Avatar Raiden across all social media platforms. Once again, if you missed the banners or they didn't come up on your end, please check the description below where you can follow our guests, Monique and Kim at Blerd Up Reacts. They have amazing content. They post regularly and they are hilarious. So check them out. With that being said, Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to join us next week as we discuss WandaVision episode 7, and we will be live at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And look out for the flyers and the promotional stuff because we want you all here to join in the discussion. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at For the Blerd. With that being said, everybody have a good night, and remember, Blerd is Bond.
Blerd is Bond.